Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit, hang out with all of you. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, and the Scythe emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not a subscriber, you can just say hi or hey or what's up. Use other people's emotes, whatever you want to do. We're going to hang out here in the intro zone, wait for a few more folks to join us, let them be fashionably late, then we'll get into model kit building. Let's see. Zeno Gears has some stuff to say, and we'll check in with that in a moment. But hello, Zeno. Hello to Ristafan. Hello to Lashbrook. Great people here already. Waiting for a few more folks to join us before we get into the building. As always, we are at 46 out of 50 subscribers at this very moment. Love to get up to 50 during this month. If we don't, it's okay. If we do, that'd be great. Now to Zeno, I know Bad Gunpla had a convo, a just chatting stream about NFTs. Specifically, there are NFTs of images stolen off of Instagram that are photos of model kit builds, either custom paints or custom builds. And Lord Crashton's here. Hello, Crashton. And that sucks completely and utterly. And most likely it's someone who is taking things off of this Instagram, but trying to piggyback off the success of that Instagram by using their name, because that Instagram that does that usually gives credit to the creators, and these NFTs certainly aren't. Now, will these NFTs actually go for any money ever? No, most likely they won't. Um, so the person that is putting these up is actually just wasting their money, but it does still suck ass. So that sucks. On that note, not a big fan of the Blazing, to be honest. In fact, very few battle log kits grab my attention. So, yeah, we are working on the Blazing, which is part of three categories of kits you're going to find here um, in the battle log stuff as we've been building them. There is the least interesting, which is the repaints. Repaints are the least interesting. That's just a kit from before. Now, the Crimson, which you see back there, is a nice repaint. That might be interesting. It's a goof, but it's in a lovely color. That's, that is kind of the more basic, but I think that's a cool version of it. And then you have the kit bashes, which are like mostly the same, but with like slight variations. And I would say that the Blazing Gundam here is kind of that. It is mostly just a God Gundam, but with a few minor tweaks. Stuff like we built the Strike Freedom, with the perfect Strike Freedom, I should say. Crimson and Quant among the most interesting. Yes, of the repaints. Yeah, the ones that are just like the Sky Zero. I haven't built the Sky Zero yet. That's just a Wing Zero with a different paint job. It's not that interesting, but it is a Wing Zero, and I do like the Wing Zero. So, so you've got that. You've got your like minor tweaks. Like the perfect Strike Freedom is the perfect strike and a Strike Freedom combined together. It's not that interesting, but it was kind of fun to put together. And then you have these are weird, like these are kit bashes, but they're going for something. They're going for something bigger. You got the Barbatorus, you can see there in the photo. The Barbatorus is, yeah, it's a combination of two kits, but it's taking the Barbatos and making it into a centaur. And that is cool as hell. The Live Lance Heaven, which is to me the most interesting kit. Obviously, I love Death Scythes, and this is a Death Scythe Hell with some weird modifications, but it's also like an interesting reimagining to me. So that one is like, that's the most interesting of any of these kits. Because it's not just a paint job. It's not just like, oh, we took this and like the Death Scythe, the Live Lance Heaven isn't just an inversion of the Death Scythe. It also has some parts on it, not many, but some parts on it from a Gundam X Gundam. And it's just the Death Scythe Silver. Well, I mean, in some ways. But I said it's got like parts from a Gundam X, not the Gundam X from the series Gundam X. It's the Vertigo kit. And to have Gundam X represented in anything is weird, and therefore kind of great. Um, okay, so Lord Crashington says we got at least 12 inches of snow last night here in Northeast Ohio, so that was fun. Lord Crashington, that's a lot of fucking snow, my friend. Holy shit, that's a whole lot of snow for like one day. Um, dang, dang. I mean, I miss snow, but I don't miss that kind of snow, that amount of snow. Gundam X is so underrated. Yeah, I mean, look here on the Build With Baer Workshop. There are a couple things that we all know, right? Zeno, that's a foot and a half. That's a lot of snow. Damn. Here on the Build With Baer Workshop, we build model kits and Lego, right? We love building death sites here because I love death sites. So I'm gonna, if I can build a death site, I'm gonna tweak this down a little bit. If I can build a death site on stream, I'm gonna build a death site on the stream, right? Another thing, which is true, and I think generally y'all know this. On this stream, we are not afraid or against the alternate universe Gundam series. Be it your Wing, your X, your G, your Iron Blooded Orphans. It doesn't have to be Universal Century for it to be good. And there are some purists out there that are all about the Universal Century and they're not about the wacky weird worlds. Here, we got no problems with that wacky weird worlds. And in fact, my favorite kits come from Wing and Iron Blooded Orphans. So, you know, look, some of them are not, there are some non Universal Century shows that are not particularly great, and some kits that are not particularly awesome. But we don't mind those here. And in fact, in some cases, they're our favorites. So, what are we going to do? Uh, I don't know if Obari has designed any wing kits. Or wing suits. I don't know. I know various parts of the South got a good bit of snow as well. Yes, there has been. The South has had snow and also tornadoes. And so, what the fuck? Who knows? You know, nature is nature was doing its best, and then we constantly make it worse. Um, I'll have to check that out. I did not know that, Zeno. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. We're going to get into some model kit building again. We are continuing to work on our blazing, which is basically like you've got your rising and your rising to your shining. This is the blazing to your God Gundam. Um, uh, burning whatever. This is they shouldn't have called it, honestly, they should not have called it blazing because in general they're like into it. Snow nados. No. No. Look, anyway, everything's confusing because the American dub decided it was going to change the names of a couple kits in G Gundam, and I understand why they did that because they didn't want to be like, it's the God Gundam. They just didn't want voice actors to say God and but instead they said dark instead of devil, and it's like you could just say the devil Gundam. It's okay. Whatever. Can't call him Mr. Satan. I get it. That's a different reference. Anyway, we're gonna get into actual model kit building here. So let's retweet my tweet out there on the Twitters. See if we can get a few more friends to join us. I just read something that I'm going to pretend I didn't read because I do not have the internal bandwidth to handle it. So we won't talk about something there. And then we're going to go to the overhead. Oh, overhead needs adjusting here. Sorry, everybody. I am getting from Dirty, who's not in chat tonight. I'm getting that monitor stand for 3 monitors. I was doing some cleaning today, so I guess my overhead got moved around a bit. I don't know how that's going to work with all of my gear on a third monitor with a third monitor stand. I'm going to have to move some stuff around. I'm probably going to have to move this webcam to one of my twin monitors, but now they're going to actually, I could make my monitors touch each other, and this could go on top of where they meet, and that would be great. I just have to figure out where this is going to go, the light you can see there, because it is important. It's also important that it doesn't like get in the way of this camera, and also causes the least amount of shadows possible, but I might have to like I might have to also, the nice thing about where this is right now, this light, you can see my hand get all blown out, is it doesn't show up in my eyes, my glasses. That's nice. That does happen on occasion when I have to light my room. That you get to see that reflective, and it's not great. Anyway, we got some of our arm done here, so we're gonna get more of our arm done here. Gonna have to use black magic. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm gonna have to like light from the sides and try not to catch shadows. Really, I'm gonna have to move this light when I upgrade to the 3 monitor setup. Uh, it's gonna be ridiculous. And then also when I go into the kitchen for Prepare with Bear in a week, I will have to go back to the dual monitor setup because I don't think the 3 monitors are going to fit on my counter because these monitors barely fit in there as is. So I'll have to swap back to that, which is fine. It'll work out okay, but I'll have to do that. It's not a big deal. Uh, it actually will be easier because then I can just set up the monitor in there and not have to drag the other monitor in. So we're going to need 5, and we're going to need 6 first, and then 5. Great. But yeah, if you're not aware, not this Wednesday, the following Wednesday, I will be doing a cooking stream called Prepare with Bear. I will be making sausage balls, and I will be making twice baked potatoes. Just some real comfort food, easy, great, gonna taste real good stuff. So I'll be doing that on a week from this Wednesday as my Wednesday bonus stream, and that'll be fun. Uh, People have asked on occasion why I don't do more cooking streams, and the answer is because I live here at my parents' house right now, um, and if I was in the kitchen, everybody would hear me. Right now, I am in the bedroom that I sleep in, and the sound does not escape out there to other parts because the door is closed. So people are not from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. hearing my bullshit. But if I go into, wow, that's right, I gotta make this arm piece here. So I gotta start putting that together. That's F and G. Lots of S's, lots of G's. Get that going here. If I decide to do, what was I saying now? Oh, okay, yeah. So if I decide to do a cooking stream, then I'm disrupting everyone in the whole house, and I would prefer not to do that. So as an alternative to that, I only do this when they're out of town. My folks are going out of town. They're leaving on Friday. They will be gone for many weeks. It'll be okay, um, because I have the ability to get food here from delivery. I need to get to a Hobby Lobby so I can grab another Leo to mod. Nice, yeah. I mean, uh, I I wish that there is a store around here that used to sell Gunpla. They're a comic book shop and they had a Gunpla section. Uh, and so that's listed on their website still. They don't sell Gunpla anymore. Um, the only place that I can buy Gunpla around here is the local Target. So I have gotten I've gotten a few kits from this current line from there. Uh, but yeah, unfortunately, do not have a good shop in this area to get kits. I wish I did. I wish I could support a local business with my money. My local business is a shop in Florida because I buy stuff from USA Gundam Store. So that is my like help a local business out by shopping with them. Uh, Unfortunately, best I can do. Um, and again, I wish that I was able to put more money towards that and like actually shop local, but that is not unfortunately a possibility where I'm at. Maybe someday. Gotta carry in the colors are similar. Oh, okay. That's a good call. Yeah, when the colors are similar and you can start mix and matching some parts and stuff. I haven't done a whole lot of mods or kit bashing. Um, I will be, as I've said before, when I have all of these because I don't have all of them. I don't have every from battle log. But when I have all the battle logs, I am going to do the recommended kit bashing that they suggest. We will do that probably as a stream because I think that could be fun to kind of go through all of them. Uh, but if not a stream, it'll be a YouTube video. I don't know. Um, Another thing I've been thinking about is I might do a second bonus stream this week because Wednesday is going to be Jackbox because I had to cancel last week's Jackbox stream, which I was very annoyed that I had to do, but I had to cancel that stream, and so I'm thinking this Wednesday I'm going to play Jackbox with chat. So please come out on Wednesday for that. But the Anime Awards, Crunchyroll's Anime Awards, the voting for the nominees, which they have not announced the nominees yet, but they've announced categories. That's going up, but voting is only for like a week, so it doesn't make sense. I've done it as a YouTube video for Pat Bear's Anime Club, uh, but I'm like, I don't know if so. It doesn't make sense for me to do it at Pat Bear's Anime Club as a video, but I do want to like give my recommendations. So I'm thinking I might do it as a stream, and then it'll just live on my stream archive. So I am thinking of doing a bonus stream, possibly on Friday, of just like yeah, like a Friday night stream of just like, hey, I'm going to go through these. I'm going to talk about the categories. I'm going to show you, and like you could watch me vote, how and for the different categories. So I'm thinking of doing that. The bits of what are the next Power Wash Sim update sound promising. They're bringing back gnomes. Yes, they're fixing. They had to take the gnomes out because the gnomes broke the multiplayer beta, and they're fixing ladders so you don't slip off the slide so easily. Yes, they're gonna fix the ladders, which is great. That is huge that they're gonna be able to fix that shit. Plus new maps with at least a mini golf course. Yes, mini golf course is the next map, and that or stage or whatever, and that is promising. I saw some photos there. How the hell did gnomes break the multiplayer? So such a gaming bug. Gnomes broke the multiplayer. So the gnomes you can knock over with water, but they don't act the same way that dirt acts in the game. So for whatever reason, I don't understand it, but if you knocked over a gnome in your game, it didn't get knocked over in the other person who you were sharing a game with, and it fucked up everything. Somehow, I think they got in a weird. Okay, oh, that's what it was. Gnomes ended up in places, and then you couldn't clean, and you could only move the gnome. Another person couldn't move it, so then you couldn't clean that place. That's what it is. So it could like disrupt the game. It was inadvertent trolling. That's what it was. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I didn't fully understand what was going on with that, but okay, that does make more sense to what's going on. So we're just going to do a little panel lining here, nothing major. These are just, the sides here. Well, you'll see it. I'm just doing a little brown here on the red. This red is almost orange. I was contemplating using black for this, but I do think the brown is my least used marker anyway, so I don't mind doing that here and there. A lot of memes now. Yes, there are certainly memes. Um, let's see. What else was I gonna say? Yeah. So Friday, I think Friday I'm gonna do a bonus stream. It'll be my first stream from my setup in the Carolina room. So outside this bedroom, it'll be my first time doing that this year. So I'll set everything up and then just kind of have like a casual conversation, make sure everything's working, and then go through my thoughts on in the categories. I believe they added Best Film this year to the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, which I think is a great category because films often don't do well against like series, like long series. So that is a nice shout out for that. They have continued to just do one VO category, voiceover category for English, and one for Japanese, and non-gender that, and I think that's great. I do feel like they could. There's like best fantasy and best action, and like I kind of want those genre to go away. Uh, actually, let me see. Did they get rid of best couple? That's actually I don't remember. If they did, that'll be incredible. I feel like they probably didn't. Uh, but I'm gonna look it up and see if they got rid of best couple because that is my least favorite category. So let's just see here. Um, let's see. You can see the categories. The categories are anime of the year, best protagonist, best animation, best antagonist, best film, best boy, best character design, best girl, best fight scene, best opening sequence, best drama, best ending sequence, best comedy, yeah, best score, and then yeah, they have best romance, best fantasy, best director, and best action. So they fucking got rid of best couple because most of the times couples didn't actually win it. It would be either they weren't a couple or the whole point of the show was that they actually weren't dating yet. They liked each other, but they weren't a couple. So that's great. I don't know if I like best comedy, best drama, best romance, best fantasy, best action. Um, I don't know if I like those categories at all. Uh, but I do love the idea that they are getting rid of um, best couple because I always argue about that. I mean, look, best romance is functionally any different. So Lashbrook, here's the thing, right? Um, I think best romance, a couple like last year's, it is a romance. So it is a fine line to put. Like so it Love is War Kaguya-sama is is a romance series. It is about these two characters trying to force each other into a position where they will admit their feelings. So it is a romance show, but they're not a couple. And I think a show that would win best couple might be a couple but it's not a show about romance. Like in my opinion, there is a crossover between those two that came out last year, which is um uh uh ooh shoot Horimiya. Horimiya is a romance show, and the two characters are a couple and are the best couple. But you could say that Don't Tease Me, Miss Nagato is a romance show. They're not technically a couple. They are certainly interested. Or even My Senpai is Annoying. My Senpai is Annoying could be considered a romance show. I don't think it is, but it could be. They're not a couple though. Romance doesn't necessarily be a couple thing. Yeah. So like if it's a show about them, you know, flirting and getting along really well, you can do that, but it doesn't. So I do think romance is better. Now, it's gonna be interesting to see what ends up being nominated for best comedy. Like, is Odd Taxi gonna get labeled? That's a dark, weird show that is kind of a comedy, but I could see that ending up in there. Like, that's gonna be interesting. I will probably have thoughts on best comedy. The Martian. Yeah. Um, I do think that there will be like that'll be interesting to see what ends up in those categories, right? Like, arguably, all of Best Action could involve anime that also are in fantasy because there's very few shows that are fantasy shows that aren't also action shows. There are a few, but that's very rare. Generally, the fantasy shows all are full of action. So that this will be I would say a pretty interesting choice this year to do that, to just go genre. Um, but again, some of that shit I still like better. Getting rid of that best couple. Um, Princess Connect Redove has a season 2. Yes, Zeno, just started that. Um, that's a show I'm not watching. I don't love all the characters in it, and I particularly don't enjoy. I don't enjoy that the main character isn't a character. I actually think that's kind of fun in the idea of him being a video game protagonist and not having anything going on, being a blank slate, basically. And I understand why people like it. I just didn't like the first season. I stopped watching it. I was like, this guy's never gonna regain his memory, is he? All right, okay, that's just part of the gag of it. Is that he's never gonna. Okay. Yeah, it just never did it for me. But it is back for a second season. And I know people liked the first one. And I'm not against them liking it. All right, what are we gonna? Let's look some stuff. Let's stuff we can talk about tonight. Oh, okay, this is a short one. That we can chat about here very briefly. Just say I mailed out some Lego. If you are in the United States and you have Lego and you would like to donate that Lego to charity for those that are less fortunate than you, I recommend going and googling, look up um, Lego Replay. Lego Replay is the Lego Corporation partnering with Give Back Better, and the basic concept of it is that they uh, you can just print out a shipping label, a paid for shipping label, shove it on whatever box full of Lego, send it off. They do the cleaning, they do the processing, they do the sorting, they and then they give Lego to folks in need. Uh, and it's a nice little thing. You can also sign up, and then when they'll go through a process, and then you will get an email with a receipt for your tax deduction, which is very cool if that is something you're looking to do. Um, and all just in general, it's a nice thing. It's just a nice thing and a nice way to use your Lego that is just sitting around. So I did 3 giant boxes when I left New York. I sent out a bunch because I only saved like 2 Lego sets that I had. Um, and then I've been collecting Lego in a box under my desk here since I got here, and I finally filled a good sized box of Lego because I haven't done as much Lego lately. I used to do a lot more, but I got through all the Ninjago sets that I really liked building and built all those big dragons, so that went away. So that is a way if if you find yourself with a lot of Lego, of course, with your own like sending Lego sets to children in your extended family, always cool, always nice to do. But if you're like, oh, I think I lost some of the pieces, or ooh, I don't think I have the instructions anymore, you might want to just throw them all into a box and send them via FedEx. So I had to go to the FedEx store today, do that. Felt good about that. Uh, Zeno, talking more, but a little bit more anime. I've been watching Space Pirate Captain Harlock because it's on Crunchyroll and it's pretty darn good, if a bit fast paced. Yeah, I Harlock at the time felt very fast, and now it still feels fast, which is kind of surprising because, uh, yeah, when I watched it, it did feel like, oh, this is speedy. Um, it's not always a bad thing, but sometimes it is surprising when those shows kind of just go for it. Like they're scared they're gonna run out of episodes, so they got to get to the thing they want to get to. Um, let's see. So we did that. Oh, let me tell you about a Twitch channel. I've been watching this for a while, and then I think Jeff Grubb was tweeting about it today, and it reminded me that I don't think we've talked about it on this stream. The Twitch channel is called Old Timey Computer Show, and I'll put that in the chat here. You can just look that up. There we go. Old Timey Computer Show. It is a 24-hour channel, um, and it's all like here's the video like curated. Here's some videos we're just gonna run, and the gist of it is that it's old computer and video game stuff. It is like videotapes and film stuff shown. It's all shown in 480p. Anything new, they downscale, which I appreciate. Um, and it's just like today I watched some of like the Sega tester video that they like showed to people that were either were trying to become or had just become testers. Like hey, you should be working for us, and it's just like old shit. It's like the game tapes that was a reoccurring premium thing on Giant Bomb. It's that except without the commentary. It's just the originals. It's like the B-roll of that. Um, and it's pretty great. It's great to have on. If you're looking for another thing to just have on when you're doing other things and you're like, "Oh, I need a new like it's just playing while I do stuff." I think that is a great let's see. What do we want to do? Let's do 13, 11, and 15. I'm actually surprised Space Battle Yamato isn't on there, considering the other Ledge works such as Harlock, Galaxy Express are on there. Yeah, I think Yamato might be. I forget who has the license to that, but I believe someone has has that, and I don't know who, but I remember somebody like getting that pretty recently. It might be because they had like a remake series not too long ago, so it might have been a package deal. Because that often happens in packages of like, hey, we're gonna license the new thing, and also they're throwing in the old thing, so we can show the old thing first to promote the new thing. Oh yes, yeah, Funimation might have the remake, so that could be it. Let's see. Yeah, so if you're looking for some stuff to have on in the background. I think that's kind of like what I like about the old timey computer show. Hit you promotional competitions, like tutorial stuff, the like stuff that was like the VHS tapes that you would get of like how to do well on Mario or whatever. They show stuff like that, and it's just fun to have on and like check in. And they have a schedule up so you can check their schedule to see if there's something that they're airing that you're interested in or upcoming. So I would recommend Old Timey Computer Show. Gotta go shower and get some sleep. Okay. Well, thank you, Zeno, for being here. Thanks for chatting. Always appreciate it. And yeah, have a good shower and sleep, and have a good time at work, or an okay time at work, whatever. But yeah, thanks for being here. All right, we have done the top half of our kit, and which is good. And now we're moving on to the feet. I will be doing the feet as is, and then eventually I will be putting in the cool extra new foot, the clear foot, to designate that this is like a beam foot. We'll be doing the beam foot soon, but we'll be building it as is right now and do the normal one, including the stickers. This kit has had very few stickers. The eye stickers and the camera stickers have all we've done so far, and now we're going to be putting in a few stickers on the feet, which is fine that we're doing that. So yeah, let's start getting some foots together. I might as well build both legs. I mean, I'm definitely going to keep the cool leg. Like, why would I not keep the cool leg? But we might as well build it anyway. Okay, now's the time to talk about Pat Baer recommends things to check out from Awesome Games Done Quick, a GDQ, which is over. The event is over. They raised a bunch of money for charity. People did some cool races. I watched some of it live. I mostly watched them after the fact on YouTube. And so here are all of the ones I will be recommending here are on YouTube, and you can check them out. And I would say that all of them are good for different reasons, but I will also give caveats for any of them that I think are only good because of nostalgia that I personally have. Let's start with, I think this one is a fun, maybe you don't want to watch the whole run, just watch the beginning of it, but it's only 21 minutes. Bishojo Senshi, sorry. Bishojo Senshi Sailor Moon R in 21 minutes. So there was an incentive, money incentive, and which hit the mark so that the runner of this game had to play as Chibi Usagi, Serena's daughter from the future, who is the weakest character in the game because she is a fucking child. So the incentive one that you had to play as her, so that did slow down the run a bit. It's just a side-scrolling beat 'em up that is Sailor Moon. Baldridge is here. Hey, Baldridge, yeah, saying that's great. Yeah, it's just a side-scrolling beat 'em up. Now, here's the thing that's actually fucking great about this run. It's fun. It's a fun run. But the thing that puts it over the top is that our runner is dressed sort of like Tuxedo Mask, and is introduced, has a green screen behind him of the moon, of like the background for Tuxedo Mask, and it starts with this runner with a green fabric over them and then pulls it to appear out of nowhere. And that's fucking showmanship, baby. And you do not need to be a show person. You do not need to put on a show. You can just be a good runner. You can be a good a talker as you play. Especially, you can have someone excellent on the couch with you. who knows what's going on. That's very much appreciated. The run certainly does speak for itself, but if you are going to dress up as a character from the series and you are going to fucking make an entrance, that shit rules. And I'm all in favor of that. And I would like to see, especially because people are not taking advantage of enough, in my opinion, the fact that they are doing this from home and not like in a room, with a lot of people. So I would love to see more pizzazz. I think that is important. So I did want to shout out that because I think that's very fun. Being in costume and making an entrance is great. Let's see what else we got. Donut County. I mean, I love Donut County, the video game. So you knew I was going to be. You would know that I would be interested in a run of said video game, and yeah, it did not disappoint. Let's see, 34 minutes and 7 seconds, which is wild to think about. Mostly, this is just a good, like a good run, like a well optimized run, like a knowledgeable streamer, or sorry, a runner. The conversation was good. Everybody just seemed on point and knew what they were doing. It seems like a very well optimized run of like, well, you have to break this thing in this order, and if you do this, you can get cut through this, and we got the window skip coming. It was just like a lot of that, but I thought it was good. I thought it was like a uh, a good showcase of that style. So I think that was good. I don't have a lot to say about it. Fallout New Vegas in 56 minutes and 6 seconds. All unique weapons. Fallout New Vegas is actually like it's skillful to do the glitches, but it doesn't take too long to actually play that game. It's actually pretty damn short in order to do it. So this obviously was longer than traditional because the idea is that you have to get all 40 unique weapons. Like these are named uniques in the game. You have to like acquire them before you beat the game. Um, so there were still lots of quick save, quick loads, glitches, and the infinite dash, um, the grenade launcher thing. And this one wasn't as explained as it has been in years past. You want to watch 2 years ago, Tomato Angus, aka Tomato Anus, um, uh, because that streamer did a very good job of explaining how these glitches work. So I would say go dig that up if you really want to know. But anyway, um, there is something pretty damn cool about Fallout New Vegas run is that there was a bidding war for incentive for naming what the character was going to be named. Um, and there were memes and there was like a shout out to like the French streaming community or runner community or whatever. There was a bunch of that kind of stuff. But the winner, with by a pretty wide margin, was trans rights. So that was fucking cool as hell, and that was the name of the character in the game was trans rights, and of course, trans rights. Fuck yeah, of course, trans rights. So I thought that was pretty fucking cool. So I want to give that a shout out. Good job, community. Other ones. Hell yeah, indeed. Subnautica. This is a fucking 42 minutes, 23 seconds. Subnautica is a game that I really wanted to love and didn't. It was like, I just never vibed right. I think it just freaked me out too much. That game just kind of like, I don't know, the idea of just like drowning, just like, no, I can't even in a video game. Just not my thing, not my style. Um, Wanted to love that game, don't love that game. But the run was very cool. Uh, yeah, it was the glitches are wild in that game and weird and well done. I mean, hey, the glitches are fun to watch is not like that's not like the biggest statement I've ever made in my life. It's probably the most obvious thing about a GDQ run, but it's true. There's some fucking dope ass glitches in that game, and it is interesting to watch it. So I would recommend checking that out. Um, and then two more to talk about. We got Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice in 2 hours. I mean, look, that's a blindfolded run. What else do you want me to fucking say? It's blindfolded. Like I don't. This streamer ran Sekiro in two beat Sekiro Shadows Die Twice in 2 hours fucking blindfolded. That's nonsense. Yeah, it's a blindfolded run. So that is like sound and just like knowing the game really well and listening for cues and kind of like figure knowing how to manipulate where your character is after like loading and just like what the fuck. I was pressed 2 hours, then you dropped the blindfolded bit. Yes, yeah, exactly, Baldridge. The 2 hour part is also impressive because Sekiro is not an easy game, even for runners. But the idea that you could do it blindfolded is just ridiculous. Also, the person who ran it uh, was the first person. So 1 hour per shadow, says Lashbrook. Yes, yes, indeed. The person who ran it, like, created the category and then currently is not the world record holder because supposedly there are only 3 people that have done it. And it was like the person on commentary, the runner, and then somebody else. And that person currently has the world record, but they did not do GDQ. And I love that. So basically, there are 3 people that have ever actually done this particular category, and that is wild and great. Um, and then the last one, Portal 2 in 1 hour, 1 minute, 20 seconds. Um, because this is a source engine game, the next step is no display. Indeed, this is a source engine game, so there's lots of bunny hopping and the usual of that. Strafing, speed boosts, corner boosts, all the stuff that you see in those games. Um, Surprised there are multiple people. Yeah, there were multiple people that have run that blindfolded. The Portal 2 one that I like was really fun was the person who ran it on like a couple hours notice, like very little notice. Um, this runner has obviously done it before, but had competed or like had been commentary for another Portal thing and came in to do basically just like very low short notice. Very knowledgeable about the game and the community. Seemed pretty affable. Whatever. But yeah, good commentary on it. And yeah, the bunny hopping and strafing is just like, just like that game is. Look, the portal glitches are interesting. In this case, you can have all the lasers go off at once if you do this one particular thing. Like, there's some stuff like that. Mostly it's just like manipulating conversations that you can't get out of, but you want to get out of because there's a lot of. The game basically. An interesting thing about Portal 2 is designed that if you solve the puzzle, you can't enter the elevator to the next puzzle until the dialogue ends. They don't want you skipping like people talking, like GLaDOS or whatever. So some of the run like can't be optimized because you have to like, or part of it is just like ending at a certain point so you can skip some of the conversations or dialogue, I should say. And that's interesting. I don't know. I find that fascinating that they're like a thing that is holding up this run is people talking. I don't know. That I like that. And that's all of them. I mean, look, obviously there are a lot more games out there. They're just games that I'm not super interested myself in having on while I do other things. Like I'm not usually huge on speed runs of like Kaizo levels or games that are like, hey, this is like 2 people made their own Sonic game and we speed run this like broken weird Sonic like fan build. And those aren't for me. I'm not interested in that. I do think it's interesting that people like want to run shit like that, but I'm not like super invested in those kind of things. Um, but yeah, if you watched anything from GDQ, you can let me know if there was any runs that you thought were great. But those are all the ones that I can think of that I was like, these were good. People should check these out. But I can be I can be wrong. There could be some out there that I'm like, oh, you know, I missed it. So feel free to let me know. I'll be probably checking through one last time this week, looking for ones. And also, there may be a couple that didn't get uploaded yet. Um, haven't had a chance to check out this year's runs yet. I do like going back to what I talked about on Saturday. That Step Mania, um, uh, not IT in the groove yet, not ITG showcase was unbelievably great. So I would say if you didn't watch that, check that out just to see like people playing like impossible uh, custom levels, and which goes against my I don't like custom stuff, but I think that is just impressive. Okay, so then we need PC1, getting our legs together here. Um, other things. Are there other things I want to talk about? Yeah, I'm trying to get stuff ready for the fact that I will be here by myself. Again, I will be moving all of my gear into the bonus room in the house, which we call the Carolina room. Um, and I'll have more room there. Also, it doesn't affect things too much for me. Mostly, I'm going there because it's a big room that I can just set up, and then there's a big TV in there, so I can have the big TV, which is nice. But one of the main reasons I like going in there is because I can directly plug in to the router, and I won't be on Wi-Fi. And look, it isn't going to change too much. It'll help me a little bit with upload speeds. It's mostly just like it's nice to not have my main computer be wired. And I do have I do now have my Wi-Fi repeater, like booster thing that I'm wired into, but it's still wireless to that, and like just being able to plug right in. I'm very much excited about having that. That is generally the thing. Also, it is nice for me to have my space set up. Like that's the room that I'll be streaming in and on the computer and working, and this is the room that I'll be sleeping in. And then also, I won't have to half the set. I have to build everything because the stuff that's over here is on my bed. So every time I want to stream or record anything, I have to build that set, and it's not a big set, but I have to build every time. And I won't have to do that. I'll just set up whatever I want to do as my backdrop over there, and that'll be it. Um, I watched the Dark Souls race that was pretty good. They took different routes. Oh, nice. I like that. That's cool. That's fun in a race when the races are like people are going a different way. You should check out a run of the GB Animorphs game of the Game Boy Animorphs that was done a couple years ago, which I remember being fun run for a game nobody really cares about. Yes, I also like those. I like those. I like those communities. Like hey, I'm the only person that I'm one of 10 people that runs this game ever. Uh, or like people that are like, I run this game, but I run the Sega Saturn version, and no one else runs the Saturn version, and it's just like this is just me. I do like that, so I should check that out. Um, yeah, the games that are just like that don't have like the biggest, wildest communities can sometimes have really fun runs. Uh, and sometimes those runs are so good that people are like, "Oh, I want to check that out. I haven't run that game. I'm gonna find out more about that game because this run was so cool." Um, yeah, so I'm gonna be moving in there, which is good. Excited about that and doing my cooking stream. That'll be fun to be able to do that. I think that'll be cool. Okay, gotta get Sponger in here. The way I put in these, when I put in a polycap here, is going to make things annoying for me later. So I'm just going to fix that now. Once I get these together, I'll just fix those because I just realized I'm like, ooh, the feet have to go into there, and that's going to be awkward. Um, yeah, so I'm excited about having that different setup. Of course, also, uh, I mentioned this before. Coming up in February 7th through the 11th, Monday through Friday, every day at 1 p.m. Eastern, I will be streaming for about an hour every day. It will not affect my other streams. This is a bonus extra stuff. I'm going to be experimenting with afternoon streaming, but I didn't want to do that and take away from my normal streams. So it is just in addition to that. But I will be doing the Daily Dwarf, which is me playing Dwarf Romantique, or Dwarf Romantic, whatever you want to call it. I usually say Romantique. I'll be playing Dwarf Romantique the tile placing single player virtual board game. And I will be doing that every day for about an hour, like 1 p.m. till about 2 p.m. Eastern every day, just because I can. Um, and I want to experiment with afternoon streaming. But I'm just going to do that for a week, a full week. And I figured I would check that out. Uh, Playing Dorf Antique as Dorf. Yeah, no. Dorf on that. Dorf on board games. Uh, yeah, it's just me checking that out. I think that's going to be pretty fun. It's very relaxing and very chill, and that is a fun everyday game. I play Dorf Antique pretty often. I go through phases where I'm just kind of like, oh, I've got a little time. I'm just going to load this up, and then my alarm will go off, and it's time to do something else. So, um, it also is just like, yeah, it's me trying out. Like, I like the idea that I'll be able to raid some streamers that stream in the afternoon that I never get to go and give a raid to. So that'll be kind of fun. It'll allow me to just like try out afternoons, see how they do. Because I'm not like, because what I don't want to do is like, oh, I'm going to stream in the afternoon for no reason, and I'll do model kit building, and then no one comes and checks it out, and then I'm like, well, I bought this kit and it cost me $30, and then I built it over 2 streams and no one watched me build it. It's like, that doesn't feel good. But if it's like, hey, here's a game I bought already, it's in early access, I already purchased it, and now I'm just playing it for an hour for nobody. Okay, moving on to the next thing. Like, I don't know, it'll feel less precious if it is me trying out this game. It takes the pressure off as I experiment with afternoons. Because like, I'll be honest with you, folks. The numbers haven't been as great as I would like lately. I'm expecting good things from the Prepare with Bear because it's a cooking stream, and I've only done it twice before, so I think that will have a nice little turnout. But Saturday was very lightly attended, of course. Thank you to everyone that watched on Saturday. When I talk about the numbers or attendance, it is never me being like, oh, I fucking can't believe that nobody fucking came out. It's like, no, it is never that. It is never, ever that. It is only me just being like, oh, I wish more people had hung out. That was a good stream. Like, it's just me wishing there were more people and never me being grumpy about, of course, about the people who came. But yeah, I would like to have more people watch what I do. The numbers have been down lately. And that's a bummer. So mixing things up, trying an afternoon stream out here and there, I think that could be cool. Um, but and then yeah, Wednesday playing Jackbox this week. Friday, um, Friday could be an after. No, probably not. Friday, I don't know. Friday might be an earlier stream than normal, but it might also just be at 9. Friday will not be that long. I'll say that. Friday will not be a long stream because it is. Oh, we got a sticker that goes on here. Okay, let's get a sticker on there. Friday won't be that long because it'll just be me voting on the anime awards and looking at the categories. So like, it's not gonna take that long to do. All right, we need 2 here. Not too many stickers on this kit, but a few. We'll get those on. Oops. My Exacto trying to get underneath the sticker, and instead I went through the paper. I did not stab myself though, which is nice. Always nice when I can avoid stabbing myself with the Exacto blade. And put it on there. A little bit of black. Won't even see that because this is the back of the leg, but whatever. Might as well put on a sticker. I wonder if it's the time of year. I've been a little slow, and a lot of my streamer friends have been a bit slow as well. Yeah, Baldridge, it could be this time of year. It could just be like you'd think that with it being winter, that people will be watching some stuff, and also like there's not a lot of it's not a lot of like people there's not a lockdown. We're not in another lockdown or anything right now, but there are people who are like not traveling as much or going out as much. It's not like overall, but it is happening. And so I did think that maybe there would be a little bit of bump with that. Also, I still do even though I do new kits constantly, I'm still a model kit streamer. Like, there's only so much, like, if you've been watching my streams, like, maybe you're interested in hearing about anime that's coming out right now, or manga that's coming out, that I'm reading. Like, maybe there's an interest there, but for the most part, like, if you've seen my streams, you know what's up. Like, I didn't get the bump I normally get for a PAX. PAX Unplugged is a different kind of bump anyway. It's a lesser bump, but this one was significantly, like, generally when I am on a PAX panel and I put up on the screen what my Twitch account is, I get some follows, and I did get a few. I just didn't get as many as I normally do. So that was a bummer. But usually PAX is a good way of people who didn't know who I was, or forgot that, or like, didn't know I streamed, or just forgot that I did and just hadn't gotten around to it, getting that reminder, like, oh, Pat does that. Oh, that sounds cool. Usually it's like, hey, if you like, did you know this is a thing? And then people will be like, I didn't know that was a thing. Like, what? Model kit building? Oh, that's fun. I'll check that out. So I don't know. I usually get a bit of a bump, and I did not get a bump this year, and it's okay that I didn't. I saw that MagFest was not a great event for people hoping to avoid COVID. Yeah, I mean, the people who avoided COVID were the people that chose not to go to MagFest, that canceled their appearances at MagFest. Those are the people that didn't get COVID. I mean, also some of those people probably got COVID because it's fucking hard not to get COVID right now. But yeah, um, it's very interesting. As someone who was / is considering going to a convention in several months, it feels fucking weird to talk about that. Like, it feels very odd to be like talking about a convention. I don't know. Um, I will say that I'm hoping for a little bit of bump here and there. I am gonna try something out. I'm gonna try something out in late February, and I'll talk about that here, I guess. Um, I'm gonna try and have a guest on now and again, audio only, not video, because that can be difficult for my current setup. But I'm gonna experiment a little bit with having, like, a guest here and there, like, and like, I'll do the Discord thing. I'll do the thing where, like, their name shows up when they're talking, so you know what their name is, and, like, it'll mention it in the description as well. But I'm gonna try that. Just like audio only, somebody that I think is cool. Maybe they're model kit builders. Maybe they're just like fun friends, as an excuse to, like, hang out and, like, catch up with some people that I love. So I am going to be experimenting with that. Probably late February. That's going to be a ways away. I want to. It's going to be after Daily Dwarf, because that is going to be like me focusing some energy on trying that out. But sometime in February, I'm gonna try to have a guest or two on. I've rarely had guests. It's usually been, um, like, I had Aaron Trites, which was great. When I was in San Diego for San Diego Comic Con, he came by and we built some terrible kits that I didn't even bring back with me to New York. But that was fun. And then I had some people on. Like, I did PAX, like, or no, I did a Jackbox with some friends for my birthday in 2020, and that was kind of fun. But I also had way better internet then, and so I felt better about doing that, so that I could, like, share my screen. I wouldn't be sharing my screen in this instance. I would be asking them to watch the stream, so they'd be a little delayed, but whatever. It'll still work out. Oh, I gotta put uh, polycap in here. I almost didn't put a polycap in. It seems like a lot of people in power are hoping this is just a wave that'll subside at some point. Yes, people. So here's the thing, right? Because of fucking capitalism, people have to, at a certain point, go forward with the idea that conventions are going to happen again. And some of them, because some of them did. Some people got some conventions in, but people have to kind of go with the flow, as if planning for the idea that there will be conventions, knowing that it might get postponed, it might get canceled, or people will back out. Like, that's a given, but they still have to, in order to keep their jobs, operate under the assumption that there will be conventions in the spring, and summer and fall and winter, and then January cons will get canceled again, because we'll have another wave, because Thanksgiving just makes things bad, and then Christmas makes things worse. Um, But I think people are kind of like under the assumption that they have to at least plan for those things to happen, and then we'll see what happens with it. I mean, there have been cons, like I said, there's MagFest. There will be other conventions that will happen. It's just if people will go to them or not. We'll take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. Talk about ways you can support the channel. Then we'll get back into building. Yeah, we'll move on. But yeah, it does feel like, I don't know. I can't tell you, like, the stream. Here's the thing, right? I watch some small streamers, and I have noticed they've had a bit of a decrease in people watching. The big streamers don't seem to have that drop, so I don't know if people are like, look, if like right now people are really checking out football because football like is like building in the playoffs and trying to get things down, so like people are watching that. I don't know if that's the thing. I don't know if people are have other things going on or whatever, but my numbers have been down. I can't really comment on other people. I just know that my numbers have not been great. We'll panel line this, and then we'll get into the other parts of that. And we didn't do the legs here. Don't really need any panel lining. It's a dark blue. We can hit this dark blue with some black. It might do that. We'll do the feet and these parts of the legs, and then we'll continue on to build up the legs in a moment. I might sneeze. Just a warning. I will try to mute things, but that might not happen. Let's just check this thing real quick. Oh yes. Got a good retweet on an old tweet. Sometimes people retweet things that were funny that I wrote in the past, and I'm like, oh, nice. Thank you for remembering. Anyway, we'll go over here to the intro zone. I'm gonna try to blaze through this because we don't have a lot of friends here tonight, and I'm sure most of y'all know all of the information I'm about to put here. But this is the pause for the cause. If you're new, if you don't know what this is, I'm going to talk to you for like 5 to 6 minutes about ways you can support what I do here. All of it is optional. None of it is things you have to do. But if you'd like to, I would love it. First and foremost, let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here. $5 a month using your Prime Gaming token for free if you have your Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch. You can use that token, use it for me, or use it for somebody else, but make sure you're using that token. If you are a Tier 2 subscriber, you get that Scythe emote. There will be a new Tier 2 emote, and the Scythe emote will be open to everyone else. At some point, I don't have a new emote yet. When I have a new emote, that's going to happen. I'm currently at 46 out of 50 subscribers. Would love to hit 50. It's okay if we don't, but I would love to hit that. If you've been gifted a sub, you can convert that sub to a regular subscription. If you would like to gift a sub to somebody in the community, you could do that, and we would be very much appreciative of that. Would love to get to that 50. I will stop talking about it once I get to 50, and then I will talk about it again when I drop below it again. So consider doing that, but again, obviously optional. If you would like to support me financially every month, but not through Twitch, I understand. I get that. You could do Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, a $3, a $5, and a $10 tier, and I would love to have you there. But it's, again, it's optional. Different rewards, different bonuses for doing that here and there. We just got Aristofan just gifted it. That's 2 subs. So Akito got a sub and Baldridge got a sub. Aristofan, thank you so much. Welcome. Enjoy your to Baldridge who was here, but then and Aristofan just gifted a sub to Marty Omega. Akito, we know that Marty Omega, that's new for, and then gifted a sub to Sega Dream. Sega Dream with a great username. Sega Dream, that's fun. Sega Dreamcast or Nice in the Dreams. I assume Dreamcast. But yes, please give them the thank you. And also, I can turn off these overlay thing, and I'll do that when we go back to the other one. Well, I figured out why my sub didn't go through. Yeah, you got gifted a sub, and you can convert that to a regular subscription, and they won't charge you until your gift sub is over. Your gift month is over. You can convert that, but thank you. Thank you very much, Aristofan. a wrist fan that is your 75th gift sub. We got to hit the old applause here. The old applause. We'll play a lot of that applause. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. Not only to get me up to 50 subscribers, which is rad, but also because that's your 75th gift, and that is a great number. You blew past the nice one, and now I'm glad that you got to that. Anyway, I'm going to go through these very quickly. We'll get back to building, but I do want to do my whole ad spiel. I got a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. I put up a new video today. I'll talk about it in a little bit. But I put up a new video every other Monday and every single Wednesday. And if you want to see my Wednesday videos on Tuesday, you can join, be a member on my YouTube for $2 a month, and you get that video then. So that might be something that interests you. But if it doesn't, that's okay. Let's see. So we got YouTube there. Direct donations. If monthly is not something that you're interested in doing, I understand. I get it. But you could drop a donation, and there are options to do that. And everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, through Patreon, and through Twitch goes into a fund, and I buy model kits with that money. This Gundam that I'm building right here came out of those funds. Took that money, ended up picking up a kit that I'm excited to build. I've got a backlog. You can see some of it there. You can see some of the photos boxes there have kits in them. Always happy to build kits out of my backlog and kind of decrease the backlog a little bit and then put new stuff in the backlog. But if you're like, Pat, I would like you to build something that I pick. You can do that. If you buy something from my Amazon wish list, it'll jump the queue. It'll come in the mail. I will build it on stream ahead of time. It'll jump the queue. I'll also shoot a video about it that go on my YouTube channel, a separate little mailbag video about that. I've got a pre-order for the entry grade Kirby. I've got Lego sets. I've got 1 Mega Constructs on my wish list. I've got inexpensive kits, expensive kits, kits with premium shipping. Ooh, the Gundam Seed Destiny Dagger L pre-order is $25 right now. That's a good price for that. Expensive kits that shouldn't be the price they are. A little bit of equipment at the bottom because it is good to throw some equipment down there. My monitor stand that I put on the Dirty picked up is from there, and I will shoot a video about that. I'll shoot a hey, let me look at this, and then I'll show you hey, now here it is set up. So I will shoot a video of that on my phone. I think I used to do my phone all the time, and then now that I have this set up permanently, I just use the OBS because it's better. Anyway, you can buy a kit there, and again, it'll jump the queue. We'll get back to building soon, folks, here. USA Gundam Store is my alternative to Amazon. There's not a wish list there that you can see and buy from, but you can go to USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card, and then you can send me a DM on Twitter or whisper here on Twitch with that code that you get in your email, which is your gift card code, and I will use that and buy something, and I'll shoot a video, and it'll jump the queue just like Amazon. It's nice to have an alternative. That is my alternative there. A way to support me that is free is joining my Discord, because I have a nice little Discord there. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. There's like a section in the Discord that's just for people that have ever backed me on Patreon. I don't know. I have that there. But yeah, it's a nice little community. Sometimes there are no posts. Sometimes there's just, here's a photo of something we're on. There's a person that's in there that doesn't watch the streams anymore, but does want to talk about model kits, and that's totally cool. We get that every now and again. People are very excited about the Discord, but not necessarily excited about watching me stream. And I guess that's fine? Question mark. Anyway, a couple of video links to share with you. I mentioned I had a new video that went up today. It is Pat Bear's Anime Club. Hunter x Hunter is the weirdest shonen. Now, is it Hunter x Hunter and not Hunter x Hunter? Yes. I do sometimes like to say the X in Hunter x Hunter. But yeah, I talked for like 20 minutes about an anime and a manga series that is weird. It is a non-traditional shonen that does a thing that is basically unheard of and that no one fucking does, which is the main character at the beginning of the show is not currently the main character. That's fucking weird. It's also a bunch of different shonen tropes that it turns on its side. And it's a fun, I think it's a fun video. It is a lot of research. It is a bit of a labor of love, but I think it turned out great. So check out Pet Bear's Anime Club. Even if you're not interested in Hunter x Hunter, maybe you just want to hear about like how weird it is that the guy who's married to the person that created Sailor Moon made Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter two of the greatest shonen of all time. And it's very strange. The lessons learned from Yu Yu Hakusho. Do You Remembaer is my ongoing video series where I find an article somewhere online that interests me. Lately, it's been Wikipedia, but it could be anywhere. And then I just um, try to remember everything I can from that article. This one is about the worst traffic offender in the Republic of Ireland, who happened to be Polish, and how that might be a misunderstanding, alleged criminal. I think that was good. It may be the best one I'll ever do. I may have already peaked, which is a weird thing to say, but true. So you can check that out. And yeah, those are the video links. Now I'm going to drink some water, and we're going to talk about a manhwa, but we'll call it the manga section, but it is not a manga. And then we'll get into some anime talk as well. But first, I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna drink a little water, and we'll transition back to working on this model kit. So let's do that, and dramatic transition going. All right. Oh, and we're going to turn that off because we don't need that there because we hit 50. So let's talk about solo leveling. Um, Solo leveling is a completed manhwa. It is 179 chapters, which is a fucking lot. But in manhwa, that isn't actually a lot. Let's talk what it means to finish a series, to be done with a series. And like a series that took some breaks here and there, that for a while was one of the most popular manhwa out there, is for some people their first manhwa, their first Korean comic, because like maybe they checked some webtoons, maybe like God of High School piqued their interest, or a couple other series that are like, oh, you know what, there's an anime of this now, I'm going to check that out, like Noblesse or something. Maybe they're like, you know what? This is kind of interesting. I want to know more about these. But solo leveling was so popular that it brought people into checking them out. That like people who only read like Japanese comics were like, I'm going to check this shit out. So it's culturally significant. And in many ways, it is fine. It is the post-apocalypse is coming, reincarnation, given special abilities, for some reason, destined to be able to do this. Larger story we didn't understand at the time. There's hunters and the guild system, which is a lot in these kind of comics, these stories. You got your main character who struggled and did very like tried so hard and didn't get anywhere, who is now given an opportunity to advance and do what he wants to do, and how and knows that he's being taken advantage of, but he doesn't know how much he's being taken advantage of, and so he's like, how is that going to affect him? And that it's being powerful, having power, suddenly having abilities and power, and getting what they want, like saving his mother's life, providing for his family, and all of that. I don't want to speak too much on the ending because it hasn't been that long since it ended, but I do want to talk about the idea that kind of like concept of like, that story's done. That story has been told and is over, and it's like it's pretty good. It's a pretty good ending. There's a lot of twists and turns with this. It's a big story. A I think the art is actually fantastic. Sometimes the battles are a little confusing. I think the battle drawings are a little like, I don't know. I mean, it's full color, like most manhwa are, and it is beautiful in many spots, but it's a little rushed here and there. It feels a little rushed. The story sometimes feels rushed. The adaptation of the novel, but it is enjoyable to check out. I do recommend it if you like action series, and you like that like underdog working hard and that hard work paying off kind of a thing. Um, so without getting into the ending and how I'll say this without saying what it was. I thought the ending was fine. I think it is interesting. It's a bit of a cop out. Um, there was a moment in the show many years ago, many chapters ago. There was a thing that happened in the series where um, the main character could have lived in this sort of like suspended animation of like the perfect version of their lives, and they chose not to. They chose to accept reality for how broken it was and to continue to fight. And I like that. I think that's interesting. Um, and yeah, and there are ups and downs in the story, but eventually, like once things get revealed about like what's actually going on, the series does kind of fall apart. And I will say that the climax of it, getting to the climax, felt incredibly rushed. I have not read the novels that this is based on, so I don't know if that is like the adaptation, like I'm going to finish this up, or it was the person who was writing it was like, I got to end this. I'm tired of doing this or whatever. I don't know. I can't answer that, but I can tell you for someone that had read it, I only really finished it because Dirty the other day asked me if I had finished it because I had stopped like we hit a very huge climactic moment in it. An important like cathartic moment had already happened, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm good with this. And then I found out that it ended, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to see how it ends and where it goes. So I like backtracked and figured out where I had left off, and then finished it up. But uh, yeah, I don't know. Solo leveling, it's very good. I don't know if I would say like you gotta finish it. I mean, look, there are manhwa with like thousands of chapters because the chapters can be short. Um, so like there are some that are just like an undertaking. There are several. The idea they got to 179 is not like the interesting thing about this. It's not like, oh wow, 179. It's like, yeah, all right, yeah, sure. Um, in fact, there are manhwa that I don't read because it's only on like 20 chapters so far, and I'm like, I'm gonna breeze through that really fast, and then I'm gonna have to read it like every week. I'm good. Um, unless it's a series that like has is only being translated now and like it's going to take a while for them to get caught up, in which case I'm like, oh, okay, well maybe I'll stick around. I'll try that out. We're working on finishing the legs here, so we'll get into that. But yeah, solo leveling, this is pretty fucking okay. um let's talk about some anime. We're going to start with my dress up darling. Oh boy. Okay, so I'll say this. If this is where the show is going, I'm gonna bounce and I'm gonna be done with it. If this was the awkward, sexy episode in order to get to move the plot forward, fine. But if this is where we're gonna be with the show, I'm out. Basically, the gist of my dress up darling is we got a dude that like he designs clothes for dolls. He makes dolls. He's always felt like an outcast. He was been an outcast. He meets a popular girl that like one compliments him, which he's just like not used to. That is not something that happens to him. And two, wants his help. Wants him to help her because she wants to do cosplay. So basically, he's gonna design some costumes for her. Well, how do you design costumes for someone? Well, of course, you got to take their measurements. And it was not an awkward thing for her to do that. But it was awkward for him. And I don't want to say this show was horny, but this show is like, this episode was horny. It was like, these are high school people, and like, hey, I am not saying that high school kids need to be prudes. I am saying I feel weird as a 41-year-old person watching it. So, My Dress Up Darling could be something you're really into. I felt weird watching it. I'm going to give it a third episode because I liked the first episode. Did not love this episode. Don't know if I keep watching, but I'll know, pretty much soon if this is going to be something that I'm going to continue to check out. All right, so I got to go there, and then that's got to go one. I think it's great. Okay. The other one is Tribe 9. Hey, Tribe 9 is about baseball, extreme baseball. From gangs. Gangs settle disputes by playing extreme violent baseball with each other. With like special bats, and it's and there's territory wars, and there's like an evil person in charge of all this stuff that you're gonna have to like defeat eventually, who's like the kingpin of the city, and that's how they like settle shit in Tokyo. And that sounds like complete nonsense, right? And it is treated like a comedy, like the good guys, the underdogs, are comedic with each other and silly, but the villains take everything very seriously. Uh, and I don't know if I can deal with that because the thing they're taking seriously is extreme baseball. And that's inherently silly and foolish. So the idea that they're taking an inherently silly, foolish thing seriously, if everyone was taking it seriously, I'd be in. But not everyone is taking it seriously because they have to add comedy into it. Or they don't have to. They've chosen to add comedy to it. So it's also foolish. And that combination is terrible for me. It's similar a little bit to how I didn't truck with Skate the Infinity. And some people really loved it. Because Skate the Infinity is ridiculous. It's downward. It's like combat or competitive, like X Games skateboarding done by characters that look like they're pro wrestlers, and everyone takes it very seriously. Uh, and in some instances, it's a life and death struggle. And the person that's like the evil person is just like, why? You already have a job. What is anyone doing here? Why does anyone care about this? What is so important about any of this? Uh, it is like I couldn't mesh those two things together, and I feel the same way about Tribe 9. Now, I will say this. A lot of Tribe 9 is computer generated and looks good. Somebody's putting effort into this series. It is not a shit show, and I thought it would be a shit show. And I can tell you, it's not one. And that's great. And it's actually incredibly surprising that it is not a shit show because I definitely feel like it should be one, animation wise. Now, obviously, content wise, it doesn't do it for me. I don't think it's good. I will not be giving it a second. There are 2 episodes. I watched the all of the first episode and some of the second episode. I'm done with it. I'm not going back. If you want to give it a shot, I would say go for it. I hope you like it. I didn't, but I hope you do. I hope you have a fucking great time with it. It, you know, but again, there are plenty of shows that I don't want to watch. My friend Ian, the illustrious Ian Horner from Loading Ready Run, said a quote, and I'm going to look it up. Made a tweet today about anime that I want to look up because I thought it was a good one. Let's see. I'm I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. Yes. Ian said, I was an anime fan in the 90s, and yeah, you best believe we watched just about anything you could get your hands on. Realizing in the early 2000s that I didn't have to watch, let alone think about everything that came out each season was incredibly freeing. To which I quote tweeted and said, it's so freeing to just decide I'm not going to watch that. And that's how I feel about things. Like, there were shows last season that, or the last year, that are going to be people's anime of the year. But I didn't watch them because I didn't want to. And so I didn't. I didn't have to. I didn't want to. And it's fucking rules that is just like a thing that I can just, anyone can decide, including me, to just be like, nah, I'm good. Um, and I do think that, like, I think there's something freeing about that and lovely about that. That you can just be like, you know what? I don't have to watch that series. I think it's okay that I don't watch that thing. Uh, like, somebody was just like, hey, have you watched this show about the slice of life about the girl that wanted to go to this particular school because she wanted to wear a sailor uniform? And I was like, nope, I haven't checked it out. I might check it out. I might never check it out. It could be great, but it also, like, that premise doesn't, like, that's the only thing I know about the series is like, and that doesn't do it for me at the moment. Like, it could be a really fun show. I could be missing out on something great. Maybe I'll check it out someday. But, like, I don't know. That doesn't sound too great to me. It doesn't sound like something that I, like, gotta make sure appointment viewing. It's like, that's an okay premise, but that's not like a brilliant premise. It's like not enough. Uh, since I'm watching, what am I watching right now? I'm watching one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I'm watching 7 shows this season, which is not the most I ever in a season, but it's still a lot. I could drop one of these. I mean, look, I might drop my Dress Up Darling. So I might be down to 6, so maybe I will pick up another show, but I don't know. All right, we'll get this going here. We're just doing some panel lining on the legs. Um, Okay, now's the part of the stream where we talk about stuff y'all are engaged and interested in. This could be video games, it could be TV shows. I already gave you a suggestion of a series, a Twitch channel that I've been watching a bunch of while I'm doing other things, the Old Timey Computer Show. But yeah, do you have anything you're watching, you're reading, you're checking out, you've got on in the background while you do other things? Lord Cratchit wants me to hit that ska button. I will hit the ska button. Thank you. That ska. Just playing a little ska. Yep, and turn the ska button off. Thank you for that. Thank you for using your channel points for something silly like that. Nobody rings the bell anymore. I got that bell. I mean, it did cost me a lot of money, but I got that bell. I'm not saying you have to ring the bell. I'm saying once we got the soundboard, the physical, actual bell got a lot less love. That's okay. And now Lord Crasher wants me to ring the bell, so here's the bell coming in your way. There's that bell. The physical bell. Which, fun question mark fact. When I was, in December, when I was in the office room, and my aunt and uncle, sorry, were here in this room, I forgot the bell for 2 straight streams. I'd forgotten to bring it in there, and nobody used it. And I was like, great. I was very happy that no one asked for the bell, and I kept forgetting it because I just didn't bring it over there. Lord Crescent is at 69,000 points right now. Nice. That is a nice number of channel points. Yeah. I mean, they stack up if you watch streams, like, especially if you're a subscriber. If you're a subscriber, you get more points. Some people do the, like, like, if I was like a Hearthstone streamer, one, I would have be very different. So you would not be here if I only played Hearthstone. But, like, they'll do like a, rate my deck or play my deck if you have this amount of points. And I'm like, that's cool. I don't have anything like that because I don't have like an expensive once in a lifetime thing because, like, I don't know. I don't know what that would be like. You get to decide 450K, yeah. You get to decide, like, that's too much last you get to decide what I build next. well, you can be $10 a month and you can choose what I build next. Like that's not. There's no point in that. Like there's no reason for that. I don't worry about that. Um, let's see. We're going here, going there. Okay, just doing some panel lining here on this, and then we'll move on to do the feet there, and then the connectors, and then we're gonna basically I don't know. We'll finish the legs here. We'll get that all together. We'll have done one arm and both legs. We still have to do the waist. There's not a lot of weapons here, so we're definitely going to finish this. Like there are some weapons. There is our backpack, and of course we have the extra foot we have to put on there, the special foot. We got to build that and put that on there, which is just a silly thing that I get to say. We got to build the special foot. But we're going to finish this kit up on Thursday. And so I will have a poll up tomorrow for my $10 patrons about what I should build next. But yeah, if there's anything you want to talk about tonight, anything you're engaging with, you're checking out, and the world, are you watching the show that I went from no one talking about, no, I didn't know anything about it to everyone loving it. Yellow Jackets, have not watched that yet. I'm excited to watch it because people that I really respect seem to fucking love that show, but it seems like that came out of fucking nowhere. That people were just like, Yellow Jackets is the best show. And it's like, I don't know what that is. I now know what that is, but I haven't seen it. But yeah, I was not following the zeitgeist properly for that, I guess. Lord Crashington says, been getting back into Yakuza Like a Dragon. Ooh, nice. Opened up part-time hero stuff, which seemed like even more time sink stuff on top of the rest of it, which is already in there. There's a lot of time sink in that game. Yes, they put in a lot of there. Hey, we got a raid from Bad Gunpla. Oh, nice. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, raiders. Welcome, all you bad kids, to the old Build With Baer Workshop. We'll go over here for just a brief second. Hey, I'm Pat Bear. I build model kits and Lego sets. Talk about stuff I'm interested in: anime, video games, wrestling, manga, all kinds of stuff. Once a week, thank you for the follow, Black Comet. Once a week, I play video games on stream. This Wednesday, I'll be playing Jackbox. We got Tic Tac Panda and Lawn Fry are also following. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. But yeah, this is a nice little quiet, chill stream. We get into real topics. We talk about stuff. I occasionally get mad, but in general, we do try to keep it a little civil here. But at the very least, this is entertainment, but it's not escapism. So like, if stuff comes up and we want to like talk about things, we can talk about them. We'll be respectful of one another. Bad Gumble says we got mad about NFTs today. So I also heard that. I have not looked too deeply into this. The thing I will say is it is both sucks shit that people's artwork and talent and creativity gets stolen to make a quick buck, but it also seems like in general folks aren't actually making that quick buck and they're losing money by minting these terrible NFTs that no one wants, because they are often bad quality captures of this art, and the people they're putting up there don't have an audience behind them, which is obviously why you would like try to steal someone else's audience while you're also stealing other people's work, of course. But it often feels like those like, oh, I just found this and put it up there, and I put all these up there, like isn't worth the minting. But it also fucking sucks, and it's terrible to have your work stolen so that someone else can, maybe make some money. And of course, obviously, those people that are going to mint those are going to like take one thing and they're going to have a different wallet and they're going to buy it with their own money or borrow money to buy it, and then pay that money back just to try to inflate the price of their NFTs and then be like, oh, well, this one went for that. I wonder what these other ones are going to go for. And for some reason, fools keep falling for that shit. Already had our uncivil discourse. Yeah, I understand that, and like I said, like, look, I've said this before. I will stand by this particular feeling that the technology behind blockchain is interesting for paper trails of like goods, and there are things to like about the technology behind the blockchain. Does that like carry over into the modern current NFT space? No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. Um, there's no way that I would be like psyched about what it is and what it currently is. But if you're asking like, hey, are you like, do you think the underlying technology will have applications in other ways? Yeah, eventually, sure, why not? But right now, it's just pyramid scheme bullshit, and I'm never interested in that right now or ever. Um, and then you just have more and more people getting involved in it, and you're like, this sucks, I wish you didn't. And then people being like, okay. I love the idea that public ledger and everything having to trace back. My issue comes with it being used currently for money laundering. Certainly, exactly, yeah. um, Blood verification, there you go. I believe coin shufflers and the like need to be illegal. Yes. No, I think that it is a lawless thing, and then eventually, here's the thing, right? The time to make money on it was a while ago. Now it's just going to be people trying their best to also be grifters and succeeding or failing. It's going to hurt a bunch of artists and creators because that always does. And then, as said, I think the last time we talked about this, of course, you're like, well, is the porn industry interested in it? They're not? Okay. Well, then it's like a failed technology. It's already a failed Doom technology. Cool. Um, it's just like, I am sure there are people in the adult entertainment industry that accept Bitcoin, but like, if it's just like, I don't know, are they minting it? They're not? Okay. Um, yeah, but generally, in general terms, it is clearly a scam, and it's not a good one, and it's not a new one. But and eventually, here's the thing: it'll make enough money that people will be like, it's kind of big on some porn sites. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's a payment method that people are interested in doing. But like, so like using cryptocurrency, I think is definitely more accepted. But as far as like NFTs, like, I mean, I'm sure there will be people who explore it, but it hasn't been like accepted, on a big scale by folks. So that's generally a sign that it's like, I don't know. That doesn't seem to be something that people are like into. Uh, but whatever. Um, we're hanging out. We're talking about a bunch of stuff. Right now, I was just getting like, I was hearing from chat um, about what they're like currently checking out, what they're watching, what they're into, because I do like to hear people about what they're playing, what they're watching. Get recommendations. Um, oh, Ironhide is here. Welcome. Um, yeah, we're working on the Blazing Gundam. If you're unfamiliar with what this is a kit from the Gundam Breaker Battlelog series, which you can watch on Gundam Info, their YouTube channel, and it's translated in several subtitles for your enjoyment. It is a series similar in the vein of Build Fighters, in that there are people who, or maybe Build Divers, I guess more to the point, they make their Gunpla and then they virtually pilot their Gunpla, but there's someone that wants to be evil and do evil things. And it is a similar of Love Letter. The yes, the villain in Battlelog is hilarious. Totally. Um, but also this series like is you've got to kind of take into consideration with it that this is again a love letter. So it is remixes of old kits. It is some of them are like dramatic, like the Barbatoris, which is a Barbatos Centaur. or the Live Lance Heaven, which is kind of an inverted death scythe, which is fun. Then there's like a what if, like the Blazing Gundam is like a G Gundam kit that doesn't exist, and it's basically the idea of like, hey, what if there was a paired Gundam like there's the Rising and Shining, but what if like the God Gundam had its own paired Gundam? That's fun. That's a fun premise to go with. So it has some mods, and then some are just like, hey, what if the Astray Gundam red frame was a black frame instead of a red frame? And you're like, okay, what if the goof was a lovely lovely shades of red, which is back there, and you'd be like, okay. So there's some kits that are just like repaints, but also the idea is that they encourage you to kit bash the kits together, and every kit comes with like suggestions of what you could do to mix and match them together. Like, hey, you could take the wings from the Helios, and you could take the legs from the Perfect Grade and put that all together, and the head from this kit. And it's just like, okay, you could do that. All right, sure. Thanks, Bandai. Maybe I will. Um, oh, you have the American RX-79. Yeah, that paint job. Uh, I still need to get these kits. Yeah, some of them are great. Oh, you have the Quanta. Yeah, I haven't gotten the Quanta yet. It's on my list of ones I want to get. I had most of them. Like most of this kit is from 2010. So it's like kind of old. The Perfect Strike Freedom, which is the Perfect Strike and the Strike Freedom, those are both 2016 kits kind of mashed together, and that's kind of fun. So some of them I think like do a really good job, and others do like an okay job of I would say that they are some of them like I didn't need. I bought it to be a completionist. I didn't need to buy the Sky Zero, which is just the Wing Gundam. It's just a Wing Gundam with a different paint job. Like there's nothing new about it. But like, it's like all right, that's a good kit. I'll get that. Um, it's due with the Breaker games. Yes. Um, Oh, and then sorry, Long Cry said currently mostly playing Final Fantasy because that's my ammo addiction. I have 14. Uh, Building Supernova, Berserk Fury, Berserk Fur. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. So I've been building these. I would say my favorite is the Live Lance Heaven, which is like the alternate of the Death Scythe Hell. One of the reasons I like it is because it means that eventually we're getting the Death Scythe Hell high grade, like a new one, which is great because those are new components. So that's awesome. Um, but I like the lance. I like the look of it. That lance also is this kind of like powder. It is blue, and it's not purely see through. It has like sparkles in it, and that's a really cool effect. So the lance looks awesome. The beam on it is really nice. And then the Barbatorus, because it's a Barbatos Devil Centaur, and it rules. It doesn't really work. It really needs a stand. It's very clumsy, but also like, how could I not love that? That's nonsense in a way that I really appreciate. Um, the Not Slide kit based on the Goof Crimson with our Immunos. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I want that Centaur kit. Yes. The Barbatorus is like so weird, and I already love the Barbatos. Like I'm already enjoying that, and the fact that it's just like cool. It's like so evil looking. I think it's great. But yeah, some of them are just like repaints. The ground one, the 7-9 ground is just like here's a different color scheme and like kind of cool orange stickers. When do you get orange stickers for a kit? Never. It's like, all right, that's fun. Like, sure. Oh, I think we did almost all the stickers we're gonna do here. I think the other ones are one of them is for the different head, which we're using the red head there, and then I believe I don't know. Maybe these stickers are for something else. I can't remember. But we got a lot done today. Today we did one arm and we did both legs and feet, so that's good. So we'll get this kind of done. We got to obviously do the waist and connect it. This is a 2010 kit, so part of this is going to be like it's got the thing that connects it, but then also it's got the waist, but then also it has like another little thing to connect the legs together. So we'll have to do that. So that is an odd thing about kits from that particular era. Um, Oh, I want to add the Barbatorus Rex arms to it from X-Men Evil. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Um, yeah, it's a fun idea. The idea that they're like kind of their own kit bashes or just like their own paint jobs is like kind of fun. To me, it's like, yeah, if a kit's already cool, you might as well just give it a like. It's kind of interesting to be like, it's the red frame, but it's a black frame. Like, oh yeah, all right, that's kind of fun. Like, sure, go for it. The fact that the Live Lance Heaven has like components from the Versaga, Vistia, I forget which one it starts with the V. One of the evil kits from Gundam X, and you're like, hell yeah, Gundam X in the mix. Okay, sure. The fact that it's like a G Gundam kit, like I don't know. I think that because there would be people that would be interested in doing stuff from those series. Um, oh, Iron with a question here. A joke. What do you call a hen looking at lettuce? A chicken sees her salad. Of course, do I don't use that toilet sound effect that often, but you earned it. You earned it, Ironhide Ford. Thank you for letting me use that sound effect, which I almost never use. Always nice. Thank you for the joke. Also for writing it out there so that I would say it. Okay. Not harsh, Lashbrook. I'm playing around. That was not me being harsh. That was me playing around with it. Okay, so we have come to the end of our stream. If you're new and you didn't already, I didn't flush you. If you didn't already give me a follow because you came in with bad Gunpla, I appreciate you being here and hanging out. Thank you for those that did choose to hang out. If you want to give me a follow, I would love that. My next stream is going to be on Wednesday, where I'm going to be playing Jackbox with the chat, which is always fun. And then on Thursday, I will be completing this kit. Well, yeah, we gotta do the waste and we gotta do that. We're not done. We're not done with the kit. We're done with the stream for the night. We haven't finished the kit, but we got some progress. So on Thursday, I will complete this kit. We will build the weapons. We will put on the clear green foot because that's its gimmick, is that it kicks things. Um, Instead of having the burning fingers, it has the burning foot because they're cowards and they didn't want to make toes because obviously that's what it would be. It would have to be shining toes or burning toes, but they're cowards, so they didn't do that. But yeah, check that out. We are gonna raid. That is how we end every stream. We're gonna go on a raid. Maybe we'll raid a builder. Uh, if the person I know who's on the West Coast that does model kit building is here and streaming model kit building. Otherwise, we'll probably end up rating somebody who is just a streamer that does games that I like, because that's usually what we end up doing. Somebody who's playing something. Blazing Feet, indeed. Who are we gonna raid? Who's doing some stuff? Okay, well, we're gonna raid. Let's see. Who are we gonna raid here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Let's raid Mary Kish. Mary Kish is playing Arkvale, and I don't know what that is, but Mary rules, and her community is rad. Oh, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. But we're gonna go raid Mary, who's playing some kind of fun looking indie title. Because Mary is great. So we'll go give Mary a raid here. So feel free. Have a good night to you, Baldridge. Thanks for being here. So feel free to come along this raid. Mary Kish rules. She used to be at GameSpot. She is currently working at Twitch, and she's a fantastic, lovely person. So we'll go give her a raid. Her community also rules. And so, yeah, we'll go do that. I'll be back on Wednesday for video games, Thursday for model kits. I'll have a new model kit. We'll start after we finish this kit up. So tune in for that. And thanks for being here. I hope you have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.